So the first example we're going to look at is decimal multipliers. These are really important for lots of different percentage questions. And what decimal multiplier means is finding the decimal by which you can multiply a number to perform a percentage increase or decrease or find a percentage. And it's important to distinguish between all three of those because they are different. So if we're increasing something by 17%, you always start with 100% because that is what you've got originally. If you increase by 17%, you add 17%, which gives you 117%. We then want to convert this into a decimal. So to convert between a percentage and a decimal, you divide by 100. So the decimal multiplier to increase by 17% is multiplied by 1.17. To decrease something by 8%, we follow the same logic. We start with 100. We subtract 8%, which gives us 92%. And then we convert 92% to a decimal. So to decrease a number, so let's say to decrease £50 by 8%, we would multiply £50 by 0.92. The third option, and it's really important to distinguish between all three of these, if you just wanted to find 73% of a number, the percentage we need is 73%, so we just convert that to a decimal multiplier. You need to be clear on the distinction between those three right at the start of this topic. So here are some compound interest questions. What compound interest is when you get interest and it keeps building up on top of itself. So in this question here, James invests his money in a bank account which gives 2.5% interest per annum. Interest is a 2.5% increase each year. So we start with 100 and then we increase by 2.5%, so we get 102.5%, which gives us 1.025. So that's our decimal multiplier for our 2.5% interest. We then want to increase 70 by 1.025, and then that would be the first year, and then the second year, and then the third year, etc. And we do that 5 times, okay, for each of the 5 years. So how we do this, instead of writing 70 times 1.025 times 1.025, rather than writing that out 5 times, 1.025 multiplied by itself 5 times is the same as 1.025 to the power of 5. So we're multiplying £70 by 1.025, and it's to the power of 5 because we're investing for 5 years. Work that out on our calculator. The easy mistakes to make would be to miss out this 0 in our decimal multiplier and to do multiply by 5 instead of to the power of 5 here. So 70 by 1.025 to the power of 5, and that gives us 79 0.20. Rounded to 2 decimal places. Remember, we always round money to 2 decimal places. Right, in this case, we've got a depreciation by 15%. Depreciate is a decrease, so 100 minus 15 gives us 85%, which is 0.85. So we start with 12,000, we multiply by 0.85, that happens for each of 4 years, so it's 0.85 to the power 4. So 12,000 times 0.85 to the power 4 gives us 6264.08. Remember our units. So those are compound interest questions. Reverse percentage questions are the last sort of example we're going to look at. The key feature of reverse percentage questions is you know the price after the percentage change. So here we've got a 25% sale and the sale price is this, so we know what it is after the percentage has been applied to it. What we don't know, and what we'll often see, is the word original, so find what it was to start with. So here we're going to set up an equation, and we're going to use x to represent the original price. So 25% sale, so that means 25% decrease, so 100 minus 25 is 75%. So we had, which is 0.75. So we had some price of a washing machine originally, multiplied by 0.75, and we know that that equals 558.75. Therefore, how do we work out x? Rearrange that, so x is 558.75 divided by 0.75. 558.75 divided by 0.75 gives us £745 exactly. This second example combines compound interest and reverse percentage. Again, we've got this term, so in the first one we had original, this one we have initially, so what did he initially invest, what did it start at, so we know it's reverse percentage. So we've got 3% interest, so that's 1.03 would be the decimal multiplier for that. He did that for 6 years, so 1.03 to the power 6, just like the compound interest we just did. And it's x, some amount, multiplied by 1.03 to the power 6, gives us 5373.24. So x is 5373.24 divided by 1.03 to the power 6. Let's just make that clear, that's a power. 1.03 to the power 6. So 5373.24 divided by 1.03 to the power 6 gives us 4,500.003, so 0.00 to 2 decimal places. Remember, just a key point to note, on this one where we did round it, okay, there are decimal places after that, we should say to 2 decimal places. On this one, it's exactly that, so we don't need to say to 2 decimal places because it's not rounded. Okay, and we're going to look at one more example actually. I've just thought of an additional one to look at. Percentage change questions. So this is where you know a starting value, you know a value that it ends at, and you have to describe it as a percentage increase or decrease or whatever. So here we have a starting value, but you've always got to identify what your original value is. So original, and how we work out percentage change is we do the difference over the original value. If you don't follow this method, you will make mistakes with this. Lots of people have tried to kind of shortcut the method and they have made mistakes. You always need the original, i.e. what it started at, on the bottom. So, how do we find our difference? It's one minus the other. So that looks like 40 or 0.48. In this case, you obviously need to be careful with your units. Let's just check that. Minus 1.05. Yeah, 0.48. And which is our original? This one is our original. It started at 1.75. So the percentage change equals 0.48 over 1.75. 0.48 divided by 1.75, which is 0.2742, blah, blah, blah. That's as a decimal. What's that as a percentage? That's 27.4% increase to 3SF. So, and part 2 of the question, or the second example, the same werewolf's IQ decreases from 123 to 80 when it transforms. Find the percentage change. Again, that's our original, and that's our final. So the difference is 123 minus 80, which is 43. Percentage change is the difference, which is 43, over the original, which is 123. 43 over 123, 0.34959, which, convert from a decimal to a percentage, is going to be 35.0%. And it's a decrease, fancy D that, to 3 significant figures.